So thanks for coming back, allies. Last night I talked about doing a little opening on this thing. What is this thing? Well, to explain it, we're gonna have to go back to May 2016.
Ooh, what's this? I need tactical, high-speed, low drag, high-speed, low drag. Gotta find me.
Introducing the EvadeClip. This ultra slim tool features a stainless steel mini saw, a carbide rod saw, and a 3-piece lockpicking set. The integrated clip in minimal size enables easy attachment and concealment on your clothing, in a pocket, or in a bag.
Oh, it's like a Swiss Army knife with saw blades and lockpicks. I need 2.
So back here in reality, I have 2 of the tiny inconspicuous handcuff key company's EvadeClip. You know, tiny inconspicuous handcuff key company, the makers of the tiny inconspicuous handcuff key. This was popular on the internet some time ago. It's a small little clip that basically nestles right into the spot behind your belt loop on your backside, and you could kind of, like, if you were handcuffed, you could kind of manipulate, pull it out, whatever. It actually looks kind of cool. This kit comes with 2 of them. I bought 2 of these. I'll explain why that's a problem, largely because this thing is a piece of garbage. That's right, this thing is a piece of garbage. Too long did not watch. You want the cliff notes. Do not buy the EvadeClip by Tiny Inconspicuous Handcuff Key Company. Anyway, break it down into 2 reasons why this thing is horrible. Reason number 1, when they first introduced the EvadeClip for its teaser video to get people to want to pay in and buy it, they used something that was more reminiscent of like a Swiss Army knife. You know, 2 slabs or 1 single slab where there's a pin that's securing the tools all in a horizontal alignment or parallel alignment to each other. At that time, the tool featured like a full-size hacksaw blade just cut down, meaning full width. It had a diamond, not a diamond, a hardened rod that you could use to saw on something like hardened metal or a chain or something like that. And then it came with 2 lock picks, a Bogota rake and what's called a deforest diamond or a half diamond. Deforest diamond. So I was like, well, that's kind of cool, and if it looks as beefy and as rigid as the mock-up pictures were. And by the way, these were actual video of the product, so they looked prototypey, but pretty close to final. It looked nice. It looked made of metal. It looked very inconspicuous. The way it folded up around the hacksaw blade, so you didn't see the lock picks and you didn't see the hardened metal saw. Carbide saw, that's it. So I was like, yeah, okay, how much? $45 for a 2-pack with 2 little tiny inconspicuous handcuff keys in each pack. Now, sure, bought it, fine, $45. Here's the problem. The problem is what they ship is not anything close to the mock-up. It doesn't use the Swiss Army knife friction fold capability. It's a very complex clamshell opening, and the tools kind of rotate around the pinion arm on the carbide steel. The saw blade ended up getting decreased from just a cut down hacksaw blade into a tiny, completely worthless, floppy metal, non-hardened steel blade. Super soft, not hardened, total waste. The picks themselves also have problems. The Bogota is not that bad. The Bogota rake is not that bad, although I doubt that they were at all made with hardened steel. The deforest diamond, however, so a deforest diamond is usually supposed to be an equal, it's like an equilateral triangle, right? Each side of the triangle is of equal length. This deforest diamond, though, has like an acute angle to it, so the tip end is very long, longer than the other end, which basically makes it pointless, because if you have a lock that doesn't have a very deep keyway, you might get to the point where you're not really engaging that last pin. It's almost worth it to just kind of sand off that last bit and make it almost into a traditional single pick profile. You guys know that I've done a couple of lockpicking videos in the past. I enjoy lockpicking. I tried to lockpick with this thing. It is not pretty. So while I've been able to use the lockpicks to successfully pick something like this Master 140, has one security pin in it. It's a fairly entry-level lock to be able to pick. The problem is that the pick arms are not really long enough, and the way you have to hold them, because the clamshell, it allows too much slop, too much play. And that prevents you from really getting a tight purchase on it and getting a lot of feedback when you're picking. Now you can see I'm like really tensing up. Of course that's not how you pick. Picking is about soft movement, soft touches, particularly when you're single pin picking. But you can't do any of that with this. Now you better say to yourself, well of course it's just an invasion, you know, it's just for evasion and survival and getting away. The problem is that none of these tools really help you do that. The hacksaw blade won't cut 550 cord. The carbide blade won't make a dent in the hardened steel shackle of a lock. Oh, we'll just go through the chain then. Yeah, sure, okay. It's gonna take forever to do that though. The pins, the picks, they're anemic and they're soft and they're not really good. It's like just a poorly planned and poorly implemented tool. I can't recommend this to anybody, and if you do buy this and you don't enjoy it, really reach out to the company, Tiny Inconspicuous Handcuff Key Company, and tell them that. Tell them on their Twitter, tell them on their Facebook, because as I've come to find out, they're horrible at getting back to anybody. And partially it's because what they sold you is not what they advertised. The advertised looks slick and cool and something that, you know, maybe you're never going to use it, but it's a conversation piece, and maybe if you just tucked it away, it wouldn't be a big deal. And if you ever had to, you know, depend on it for something, even something like cutting, I don't know, something minor like a wire or something around your car, or something got stuck, or maybe you were out in the wild and you came upon a coyote trap and it had a dog instead that was in the trap, and you used that to free the dog. You know, some romantic idea, whatever you had in your head of what this could have been used for. They missed the mark big time on this. They made a lot of money, I'm guessing, and what is probably more likely than not, they ran into really large manufacturing issues in trying to make it all metal. And the more they tried to force it, the more they tried to make it cool, the more they realized they just didn't have the money to do it. So what you got left with is this like anemic piece of garbage. Anemic, not anemic. Yeah, I switched them. Don't buy this. The tiny handcuff key is actually kind of cool, but this evasion clip is just bad. Don't buy it, please. I realized there's a tool I forgot to mention, the carbide tip, glass breaking tip right there. Look at that baby. Nothing messed up about that thing? It's recessed below the plastic handle. How are you supposed to smash anything with this? I mean, I guess you could just, you know, hold it like you're gonna go, and it'll probably deform the plastic enough that you'll make contact with the carbide tip. What a horrible design. I don't know what they were thinking. That doesn't make any sense. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button. I do videos every day, and if you like this particular one and you want people to watch it, give me a thumbs up and share it with your buddies online. Hell, share it on the Tiny Inconspicuous Handcuff Key Company, because I think they need more people that... Look, I try to be objective on my reviews, and I actually don't do reviews of products that I just don't like, because I think that sometimes my opinion is subjective. I think this is objectively bad. No one thinks this is good. No one does. And particularly for the price, guys. $45 for a 2-pack of these. Garbage.